Welcome, councillors, staff and gallery to our June meeting of council, and we meet here in the spirit of respect, cooperation and collaboration. We pay tribute to those who've come before us as we seek to grow our understanding, our connection, our knowledge, our heritage and culture. We pay respect to the traditional custodians of these lands and European settlers whose customs and traditions have been passed down through 6 generations. Members, I have 2 apologies. Apologies from Councillor Troop and an apology from Councillor De Vries. Move to item 2.2.12 is the council meeting held on the Tuesday the 19th of May 2026 at 5:30. We'll look for those minutes for confirmation. Moved Councillor Hearn and seconded Councillor Barrett. All those in favour? Carried. No matters arising from the previous minutes. We'll move to 3.1, which is a petition. 3.11 is the petition for a tree removal on page 4, and I believe there's been an alternate recommendation that's been put forward. Councillor Angus.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, I have looked at this situation a couple of times. I've had a long and animated conversation with Mr. Kaesler, and we have agreed that it definitely complies with the Australian standards. However, in my pursuit of excellence, I think we can make it even better. I do believe the sign, while it may comply, is detrimental to the people who drive in and out of that driveway, particularly driving out. And so my motion is that we do not remove the tree, but we ask the Department of Transport and Infrastructure to relocate the sign further away from the road to further improve the sight lines.
You're so moving? Thank you, Councillor. Seconded Councillor Lane. Do you want to speak further, sir?
I think I've said enough, and it's pretty self-explanatory.
Thank you. Councillor Lane, I think
it's a good solution.
Yep. Okay. Anything further? Councillor Priest.
I think we should be removing that tree. It is in a dangerous spot, visual-wise, not dangerous, visual-wise for people driving out. And I'm all agreeance to having the sign. And I think this has been, I've asked this about the sign probably over a year ago, or maybe even more, but I did ask about a year or more ago about moving the sign back or out of the road and have that tree removed, but it said that you can't do it, da-da-da-da. So anyway, I'm for the tree being removed and the sign being put back.
We'll have a motion. Councillor Hearn.
Thank you, Mayor. I've been out there originally when it first came up as well, some time ago, and then only this year. And have felt that while it's all right for a younger person and it's within the boundaries, there's lots of things that were in spec. But I think when I spoke to Ben, now I'm not sure whether I spoke to 2 ends or 1 end, Ben, that they're letting the tree grow, and then they could cut the bottom branches off. So I think it's the bottom branches that are really the problem. And if that could be rectified, and maybe just leave a bit at the top of the opinion, planted plenty of trees in my time, that trees do grow quickly if you've cut the bottom branches off. So if they can't do that, I would support the removal of the tree at this point in time. Not aware of Councillor Priest's remarks previously, but it is in a dangerous situation, and it's a time frame. You count it, it's only a few seconds, so if somebody's hoovering along there at 80 kilometres an hour, can be dangerous for people who have a tendency to hesitate.
Councillor Barrett.
Thank you, Mayor. I commend Councillor Angus for putting this motion up for consideration. I've also been out there and looked at it. Whilst the tree may well be compliant in all aspects, we haven't got the power to remove it due to our rules and regulations. And I think the best thing we can do in this instance is get behind the motion and request that the sign be moved to improve the lines of sight as best we can. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr Mayor. Councillor Angus, on the run, we've just made a small change so that it's clear to anybody reading it. It's to the sign that's adjacent to 8 Greenock Road.
Yeah, do we need to say that it is the advisory 45 kilometre an hour sign?
I think that'll be
It's
okay.
pretty obvious
Yeah.
from the agenda item what
Yeah, I just think we should identify in the resolution which.
sign it is. Yeah.
Through the chair, could I just ask a brief question?
You can ask the question.
Could we split that motion to remove the sign and or take the tree away?
No, I think
Okay.
you've got the motion. If it's defeated, you can do whatever you like after that. Just always a word of caution when you start moving trees. The precedent you can start because there's a lot out there. Councillor Angus, you want to close the debate?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, I believe the tree should stay. It will self-correct as it grows. The lower branches are really only a minor impediment at the moment, and as the tree gains in height, they will be no issue at all. It is the sign that is the issue. I urge you to vote in favour.
Thank you. Put the motion. All those in favour? Those against? Motion is carried. Thank you. Councillors, we have an important task, is the recognition of our valued volunteers, and we have two folks tonight, Sally Goers-Fox and Louise Mason, who's unable to attend tonight, so we'll catch up with Louise next week. But Sally. I'll meet you in the centre. Sally, I understand you've had 20 years of volunteering with the Barossa Regional Gallery, and you've had a deep valued member of both the Gallery Committee and the Gallery Management Advisory Group. Your long-standing contribution has made you an important custodian of the Gallery's programming, knowledge, operational, continuing the cultural heritage within our region. Recently, you completed a Masters of Arts and Studies with Museum Professional Development that has further enriched the Gallery team through your insight and expertise. And you're extremely generous, they tell me, with your time.
Got to do something.
And your knowledge has played a significant role in supporting the exhibition's development. And I've got here, and the hanging committees. That sounds a little bit out there.
That's the fun part.
That's the fun part, the hanging committees,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, you betcha.
And I'm sure it's about hanging things.
Hanging.
Yeah,
Yes,
yes,
hanging
right.
things.
Okay, yeah, we'll
Yeah.
just clarify that point. Helping to strengthen the depth, the exhibition standards and programming of the gallery. Most recently, you have led the development of two highly successful exhibitions that bridge creative arts and local heritage. Stability, Grace Endurance, Handmade in the early Barossa, and Hermansburg. Just briefly tell me a little bit about Hermansburg.
Hermansburg, what was the subtitle of that? The Barossa Connection.
Okay.
So, yeah, that was an extraordinary experience because we put a call out to the Barossa community for people who had connection to Hermansburg or items, for instance, artworks. And we did this spectacular exhibition stories, because the Barossa and Hermannsburg have a very deep long-term connection. Hermannsburg basically was found out of the Barossa. The missionaries left from Lunbar? Yeah, but I think the Kilal-Tanina ones started, I think, with Lunbar, and Bethany was all involved in that, so it was fascinating.
No,
Yeah, very proud of both of them.
No, well done, and that was really great. And the Barossa Connection, both the
Yeah.
exhibitors were exceptional examples of the gallery and the cultural program, education, and very inspiring for everybody. So, with that in mind, they tell me that your generosity, your compassion, your unwavering support for the Barossa Regional Gallery and the Tanunda Soldiers Memorial Hall are a true reflection of your deep love for the community, the arts and the region. And it means
Probably true.
you've got to tolerate Steve Kaiser a little bit too, do you?
Well, yeah, you get used to it.
Get into it, get it, you're sitting up the back.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know what, mate? Oh, one of them's all right. We can edit the background out. Never seen
You can be shocked out of those photos.
A couple of weeks ago, I attended the local government association's half-yearly meeting and dinner, and there was a little oversight, there was a little bit of information that was meant to come to Catherine so that we could invite certain people from our council to be in attendance. So unfortunately, I was sitting there listening to the service awards, and John Angus' name was called out for 25 years of recognition to local government. Calm down. So John.
Oh, we get it.
So John. John,
I can't see the 1 hour.
there's a long list here. Sixth generation Barossa Valley local, and is an active in the local agricultural and community life. John, you've served on the Barossa Council since 1999, and during this time served as Deputy Mayor. John has been a strong advocate for major local government projects, such as moving signs, such as the big project, including council's recreational facilities and other community initiatives. John, you've had a long history of community service, including involvement with groups such as Leisure Options, Carers Link, the CFS, Barossa Farmers Market, park committees and other local initiatives. John, you're also have been the chair of the Barossa Village Incorporated, community-owned aged care provider, and has been a board member since 2006. 2006, reflecting your deep commitment to the local community, your support and your governance. It is sincerely appreciated, so on behalf of the local government, there is a certificate for you. Congratulations. Well
Alright, back over there.
Doesn't matter to us, but it would be for Elisa, I'm sure.
Then they have a night off. Thank you all very much.
Thank you for that your service over all those many years. Well done. We have a notice of motion, 3.3.1, in regard to Sale Yards Road, and I think there's been an alternate recommendation that's been provided, and I think, no, sorry, that's on a different one, sorry, looking ahead of myself. So this is a petition and a notice of motion with a recommendation there for you to be considered. Councillor Angus.
Thank you, Mayor. Seems it's my night to start with. Yes, I brought this up as a result of communication with the owners of the land both sides of Sale Yards Road, and I thank the staff for compiling this report. So you will see that this came to Council back in 2010 with a recommendation from the staff to close the road, in spite of two people not necessarily supporting it. Both proprietors have since moved on, and one of them didn't even live really, or they owned land on the corner of Penrice Road and Stockwell Road, but still got a voice. I think this was precipitated by the placement of an end 80k sign where the bitumen ended and the gravel road started, and the owners suddenly thought, no, this is basically an open invitation to do 100k's along there. There's a one-lane bridge for those of you who have driven along that piece of road. And so I, having been contacted by them to say what could we do, I thought, well, let's revisit it. So what I'm asking to do is accept the petition, but to undertake the review, traffic counts, basically go into consultation, and with a view to seeing how people feel, hopefully closing that section of Sale Yards Road, the gravel section only, to through traffic. So I'll move the notice of motion as on the screen.
Yeah, I'll second the motion. I'm normally against road closures, but because this is just a review of the Sale Yards Road, including a traffic count, I'll be for that. And looking forward to seeing the report.
Yes, I agree with everything that Councillor Angus, you got me confused, John. It's not, that wouldn't be hard. Yeah, the Burgermeisters actually approached me sometime last year as well with the similar problems, and but during summertime it's not only speed but also dust along that section of road, and with it'll be interesting to see the report, as Councillor Angus has asked for, to see how many people do travel on that, but I'd be in favour of actually closing that section of road as Councillor Angus has suggested.
I'm pleased to see that you've dusted off an old report that I did many years ago. Councillor Barrett.
With the leave of Councillor Angus, I'm just wondering if we could have one very minor change to the recommendation, and that's to when I say let it to all landowners, can we have adjacent landowners? It might be an expensive exercise if we're right to landowners.
Everyone in the Bronx. $143,000 bill for a mail out.
Good pick up. Anything further? You wish to close the debate, Councillor?
Enough said.
They did nod to me. You're both okay with that alteration? Yep. All those in favour? Carried. The Mayor's report, I might add, it was with great pleasure that we received the 2026 Leadership excellent awards for the excellent infrastructure delivery for projects over $2 million for the Barossa Park. So congratulations to you all and staff for that wonderful achievement and the recognition of building something in a bit over 10 months. And the other point that I just want to take out of the report was acknowledging the staff in using this recycled product from Downer. I actually rode on my push bike on the section of road that was upgraded after all this heavy rain, and it was a section of road with steep grades, regular washouts, corrugation and all those things. And on Sunday it was absolutely still the same as when it first went down. So and I think it'll be interesting to see its whole of life cost now that we won't be out there regularly repairing and grading. So congratulations to the staff for that initiative. Well done. There are Mayor's reports there. Someone like to move that it... And seconded, Councillor Lane. All those in favour? Carried. Item 6, there's a list of them there for matters for information. If there's no questions, we can move on, other than if there's some questions. We'll move on to the debate reports, and 7.1.1 is the review of procurement thresholds on page 124. Moved Councillor Angus, seconded Councillor Evans. Either one wish to speak? Any further comments? All those in favour? Carried. I thought I seen your hand go up, sir. Oh, those against? Carried. You can. All those who voted for the... All those who voted for the motion, please stand. Councillor Hearn, Councillor Evans, Councillor Barrett, Councillor Greatwich, Councillor Angus, Councillor Lane, Councillor Thompson and Councillor Schilling. Voting against, Councillor Priest. Thank you. 7.1.2 is the Mount Pleasant Tallunga Park business case for football service levels at Tallunga Park and master plan update, consultation outcomes and determination of pathway on page 168.
Before we commence on this one, I'd like to declare a general conflict of interest amongst all the submissions made regarding Tallunga Park. There were many made by local community groups. My wife is secretary of two of those groups, namely the Mount Pleasant Community Association and the History Group. The declaration is made for transparency. I intend to stay in the meeting, speak on the agenda item and vote.
Thank you, Councillor Barrett. Councillor Priest?
Oh, no, I was just going to ask questions, but I think I jumped the gun here before it was moved.
You can ask a question,
just
that's
through
fine.
Through the chair to the CEO. Are we asking for state or federal government funding for this at all? Through the chair.
Through you, Mr Mayor, there's nothing to ask at this stage because I'm not sure what to do. That you need to instruct me what to do. If there is opportunities for grant funding from there, we could look at it. But the answer is no at the moment.
You're saying that 325 budget for 325,000.
That's what's currently in the budget.
Yeah, but we haven't asked for any
No.
So there's a recommendation that was circulated, and there's been an additional information and a proposed recommendation that Councillor Barrett has been involved in, and so thanks for that input and further information, which I think helps clarify things a lot better. Thank you. Councillor Priest.
I'll move the motion.
Move Councillor Priest. Second.
Can I clarify which motion, the alternate? Or
Ah,
We're talking,
I thought he said he,
I'm led to believe option 3.
he said he can't vote.
Yes, you can.
Option 3.
Sorry, just,
Councillor?
through the chair, I don't know whether I misheard Councillor Barrett say he's not going to vote or something?
He's-
Oh, he is. I
Yeah.
thought he said he had a conflict.
No, he's just clarified. Yeah, no,
It-
he's
through-
fine.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, it's a general conflict. General conflict doesn't require you to leave the meeting.
So we'll just clarify the motion you're moving, Councillor Priest. Option 3,
Through the chair, I'll leave it up for Councillor Barrett to move it and I'll second it.
I don't think Councillor Barrett wants to move it.
Okay, then I will move it because Councillor Rang has told me he wanted to move it. Do
Well,
you want to move it, Don?
I'll go in the direction of the
well, I don't think there's a problem with it.
No, I don't think there's a problem.
I'm more than happy for you to move it, my friend. Thank you.
Then-
You've done the groundwork.
I'll withdraw my motion to move and, not motion, but I'll remove my, to move it and I'll second it.
I'm happy to move this motion, Mayor.
And move Councillor Barrett.
Could I just confirm we're actually moving the alternative motion circulated via email?
And seconded, Councillor Priest. Councillor Barrett.
Thank you, Mayor. This has been somewhat a long and tortuous path I've trod in relation to Lunga Park and the people using the facilities there. People will not realise it actually goes back when that oval was first opened in 1978. And when I go back through the minutes of the Show Society, there were complaints from the footballers of the condition the oval was left in after the horses got on the oval. It's been there since day one. As a council, we have moved through various iterations and we've done some tremendous groundwork, and I thank the CEO and the Deputy CEO for the work they've done over the last 12 to 18 months in relation to this particular item. And I've liaised heavily with numerous people within the community, and it's clear to me most people in the community want both on that oval. And in wanting both on that oval, the conversations I have with them, you will not have a perfect venue for equestrian events. You will not have a perfect venue for horse events, for football events. There's got to be some give and take. So to that end, I spoke to the football people last Wednesday, Thursday, after the workshop, and I got some very good feedback from them, and they were more than happy with a version of number 3, but with a few constraints that the CEO put together, and on balance, I think they strike a fairly good position for people to go forward and use that facility into the future. And I commend people to vote in favour of this motion. Thank you.
Anything further? Put the motion. All those in favour? Carried. 7.2.1 is the draft community engagement policy process.
7.13, the addendum report.
Oh, sorry, the addendum report. I did make a note of that too. Okay, 7.13, sorry. The addendum report, yes. That's the review of the public submissions to the draft annual business plan and budget 2026-27 financial year and final proposal with a recommendation with attachment 1, endorse the long-term EFLT recommendations, and attachment 2. Councillor Greatwich moved and seconded. Councillor Angus. Councillor Greatwich, you wish to speak?
So through the chair, just a question. So we're having the 24th of June, we're having the final vote on the budget, aren't we? Correct. Through the chair?
What was
Just
that?
a question. We're having a final vote on the budget on the 24th of June?
That's correct, isn't it? Yep, that's right. Seconder? No further comment. Okay, thank you. Nothing further? All those in favour? Carried. Seven two one, the draft community engagement policy and process on page 563. With a recommendation. Councillor Angus, thank you. And seconded, Councillor Hearn. Either one wish to speak to it? Councillor Hearn? Nothing further. All those in favour? Carried. 7.2.2 is the monthly finance report as of the 31st of May 2026 on page 582. With a recommendation there that we receive and note the financial update. Councillor? Yep.
I did mean to speak with someone earlier. We're 1 month more of the financial year, but we're only 62% spent. We've got a lot to do in the next 2 weeks, and maybe most of it's already done. You with me, Martin?
I am.
CEO?
Thanks, Mr Mayor. Thanks, Councillor Angus. Yeah, there is significant expenditure still coming through in June for capital and the normal operating amounts, but it actually somewhat links back to the last report of the carryovers that we will be carrying over this year, which is 3.3 million. So with that 3.3 million plus you do get late bills coming through in June, we'll probably get to around 85% capital spend this year, and the spend is running under budget. So I imagine that, because really capital moving from year to year doesn't change the budget balance, but operating I think at this stage will be reasonably under the bottom line.
Yeah, there was a mover and a seconder. I did see some hands there for a while. Yeah. Who was the mover? Councillor Barrett, thank you. And Councillor Greatwich. Moved and seconded. Councillor Barrett, seconded Councillor Greatwich. Either one wish to speak to it? Anything further? All those in favour? Carried. (7.3.1) is the helicopter landing request at Curtin Park for a wedding on page 585.
I've already got my buzzer on.
Councillor Priest.
Yeah, I'll move that motion.
Move councillor Priest.
I
Coun-
have a question.
I'll just grab a seconder first. Yep, seconded councillor Evans.
Thank you.
Either one wish to speak to it? Councillor Greatwich.
I was just interested to understand, given that there is not a sort of delegated authority to approve these sorts of requests, I can only remember a few of these coming through in the last few years for Christmas pageants and that sort of thing, and this is probably the first one that I remember for a wedding. But I see the helicopters landing all over the place for various things, like at cellar doors or adjacent to cellar doors and that sort of thing. So I'm just keen to understand why are some requests coming for that delegated authority and why are not others? Is it to do with, presuming, the land and the landholders? But I just wanted to understand that.
That's correct.
Assume it's community land.
They're landing on our land.
Right. Okay, so every other time you see them coming down, the assumption is that they're on someone's property, like a winery property or something.
And following whatever rules they've got to
Yeah,
follow
okay.
with CASA and things like that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Anything further? Put the motion. All those in favour? Carried. Seven point 3.2 is the Flinders to Thurio Rally 2026 road closure request on page 588. Councillor Priest.
I'll move it.
Yeah, I'm happy to second it.
Moved councillor Priest, seconded councillor Angus. Either one wish to speak to it?
No, enough's been said.
It's another good event that
Yeah,
comes through the Barossa.
excellent event, excellent event.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Priest, you still got your mic on your right? Okay, thanks. Put the motion. All those in favour? Carried. Seven point 3.3 is the Community Wastewater Management Systems Connection Policy on page 594.
Pretty vital piece of infrastructure
Like, I'm not sure
policy
who would dare to
now. I'll
say
move
no.
that be adopted.
Moved councillor Angus. Seconded councillor Hearn. Either one wish to speak to it?
No, thank you.
Nothing further. All those in favour? Carried. Seven point 4.1 is the Wellbeing and Inclusion Plan on page 601. Councillor Greatwich.
I'd like to move it, please.
Moved councillor Greatwich and seconded councillor Evans. Councillor Greatwich.
I think my support for this plan is really well understood, but I think it's also just worth noting that we often hear about at the local government level is, you know, roads, rates and rubbish and get back to basics and that sort of thing, but actually the well-being of your community is about as basic as it gets. So having assets and resources like this is the absolute foundation of a successful local government area, I believe. And I know it's been said before, but I think it's worth repeating that this is quite an extraordinary piece of work in terms of its complexity, its interconnectedness, its thoughtfulness. I think that we as a region should be enormously proud of the people in our community who have enabled this piece of work to come to being and the staff who have stewarded it through the council process. So I'm really proud to move the motion.
Thank you. Councillor Evans.
Oh, I'd just like to concur with my colleague, Councillor Greatwich, and just say that having been involved in the Barossa Wellbeing Project, I don't believe I've got even a general conflict of interest here, just with a comment and a opinion, but the teams that have worked on this research and work so far are producing fantastic results, and I'm really thrilled to be involved as a councillor and at this time. Thank you.
Nothing further, I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Carried. Page 656, 7.4.2 is the Community Connection and Investment Framework. Councillor Greatwich.
I'm happy to move this as well.
Moved Councillor Greatwich and seconded Councillor Evans. Councillor Greatwich.
I suppose only just to note the interconnectedness of the approach that's being taken here, and this is a necessary kind of administrative step, I suppose, in bringing that next phases forward.
Thank you. Councillor Evans.
No further comment, thank you, Mayor.
Anything further? All those in favour? All those in favour and those against? Carried. Yes, you can. Those who voted for the motion, please stand. Standing, Councillor Hearn. Councillor Hearn, Councillor Evans, Councillor Barrett, Councillor Greatwich, Councillor Angus, Councillor Lane, Councillor Thompson and Councillor Schilling. Remain seating is Councillor Priest. Thank you. (7.4.3) on page 687 is the revocation of the Community Assistance Scheme Committee as a Section 41 committee. And this Yep. I'm just going to, I'm a bit... The recommendation is up. Councillor Angus.
Oh, sorry.
Moved Councillor Angus and seconded Councillor Greatwich. Either one wish to speak to it?
I need to say it has served its purpose and is now no longer required.
Thank you. Councillor Greatwich.
I think I just wanted to acknowledge, you know, it can seem a stark thing to say the revocation of its status as a committee. And I appreciate that it's, again, being folded into a broader process that's happening here. But I think it's just really important to acknowledge that a very significant number of members of our community have contributed to the committee, and staff have likewise over a considerable period of time. And I hope that the understanding that that work is not being revoked, that it's purely that kind of administrative status. But I think it's important to acknowledge the very considerable investment of time and energy that's gone into managing that over quite some time.
Absolutely. Councillor Priest.
Yeah, look, I'm against this motion. I think the Community Assistance Scheme served its purpose. It just needed tweaking, and I can't believe that this has taken about 12 months to come to us. I think it's approximately 12 months. A long amount of time to do this, but I think that the Community Assistance Scheme should have remained as it is. It needed tweaking, yes, but it should have remained as it is, and it served its purpose, and I think it still should continue to serve the purpose that was originally meant for. So I'll be voting against this.
I think when you say it's taken a long time to come to us, it's been coming to us in different forms, and we had to work through a process to get to where we've got to. Anything further? Councillor Angus?
If I may sum up, I think I appreciate Councillor Greatwich's comments, and I probably should have said it myself, but I certainly endorse everything that she has said. The Community Assistance Scheme has served the community well, and it's been administered by many and varied staff and elected members, but it was no longer fit for purpose, and I think it was sadly lacking in so many ways. If the alternative proves to have shortcomings, I'm sure we can tweak those as as required. So I don't think there's much point in keeping this alive for the sake of keeping it alive.
I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Those against? It's carried. Councillors, that's the agenda for June. We shall meet again, scheduled for the next ordinary meeting on the 21st of July at 5:30. Thank you for your attendance. I formally close the meeting.